What's up, guys? Zulu here after another night of mostly raiding, and also got some visions done. So tonight it was a really good night for the guild. We got 11 out of 12 heroic, which is a big achievement for a guild that like ours that's full of mostly casual folks who log on to raid, and we only raid 2 nights a week, raid Sundays and Mondays. So we've got some talented people with some pretty good gear, and so we're pulling good numbers, and people do the mechanics in a pretty solid way. So we got in 8 or 10 pulls on exhaust, something like that. So did a bunch of pulls for us. It took up like the last hour or so of the raid. Tonight's raid is a little shorter, but made some progress. There's a lot to look at, so I think we got through part of the second phase, but we kept dying at around the same time because people kept getting mind controlled. So a lot going on. We'll have to see how things look next week. Then also did my first 4-chest vision tonight with help from my guild leader, so that was also good because I got my cloak up to level 10 on my mage. So I guess last thing too is I did a plus 13 on my mage and we plus 2'd it. So my mage definitely has the gear to do higher level mythics and plays a very certain role in mythic pluses, because I think there's a lot of pulls where my DPS is fairly lackluster, doing like 40k, 50k AoE, which is far below what other people are doing. But then on other pulls I can burst like 150, 200k single target and just basically delete some mobs from the pull. So I definitely need to get better at pulling, more stable AoE DPS on pulls where I don't have combustion. But I also think just realizing that as a mage, that's my job, is to blow shit up. Other than that, my allergies have been pretty bad. Feeling pretty stuffed up, but I think knowing what it's based on, I'm just going to try and get a good night's sleep tonight. I am trying to sleep a little less. I think I sleep a little more than I need to these days. I wake up and go back to sleep a lot. That being said, I'm going to listen to my body and hopefully let it sleep as much as it needs to. So, lesson learned for today, I think it's more in reference to the streaming grind. So, at the beginning, when you don't really have anybody watching you play, it's tough to stay motivated. But then periodically you have a really cool interaction with someone who makes you feel motivated to continue doing it. I think a lot of my good interactions have been mostly on Twitter, where I'm talking to people that are encouraging me and giving me tips and things like that. And so I'm really pleased with the Twitter growth. I think it's going to be some time, as with everything else, before it gets to where I want it to. But I'm doing what I can to get it there. Other than that, tomorrow's a reset. Next week is another pretty easy set of A fixes. I heard it's going to be Quaking Fortified teaming, which means it's going to be a lot of trash, and the trash is going to be big and hit like trucks. So we'll see. It might be hard to push higher keys just because of how much the trash hurts, but because I know last time I did it, I was really surprised at how much teaming Fortified hurts after like 14. So we'll see. I'm playing around with Frost just because it does more consistent AoE damage. I'm going to do some more sims tomorrow. I did some simming tonight, trying to figure out what gear I should be wearing. But it looks like I can sim around 80k AoE, which is pretty good. So a lot to experiment with. I accomplished my weekly goal. I told myself in my journal, I wrote down that I wanted this week to be a 13, since last week I did a 12. I did multiple 13s, and one of the 13s was very much in time. So I think I'm moving forward. Next week I want to shoot for a 14 or a 15, and let's see where we can get. So continuing to make progress. Bummer is that I heard that the tournament realm went live, and of course I don't have a group, which means we're now going into March. The tournament realm is live, and unless something changes pretty drastically in the next couple of weeks, I'm not going to have a team that can run every dungeon on plus 15 or however many dungeons you need. So I need to review the qualification rules. But there's looking like I might miss this round of MDI Cups because I haven't solidified a team yet. That being said, one day at a time, put one foot in front of the other, focus on what I can do, and that for now is to run 14s. So thanks very much for watching. This is a little bit longer than usual, but I will be back tomorrow.